This is Glenn Rice with Clearview Sewer Cams. We're located at 2090 Aviador Street, Camarillo, California 93010. Today is July 21st, 2022. We're performing a video sewer inspection through a 4-inch ABS mainline sewer cleanout located at the front of the building. And this is our 4-inch ABS mainline sewer cleanout here. And this is the front of our building. This goes out towards the street area, and this goes out towards the other side of our property. We do have several units. We have A, B, C, and D unit here. So there's multiple units, and they did pull a new sewer. So we did run from the back, the very back unit, and we did flush all the toilets, ran water from the furthest unit, working our way back all the way up to the front of the building, and everything seems to be passing through and coming out at the front of the building. So what we're going to do is we're just going to drop down, and we're just going to run out towards our city sewer tie-in. And as you can see, as soon as we drop down, we do transition right to vitreous clay sewer line. So what we're going to do is we're going to run out towards our city sewer tie-in and possibly push all the way out to our city sewer tie-in. And then from there, we'll come back and we'll pull back, and then we'll run up the line as well, just to take a good look at the waistline underneath the unit. So again, we're just going to appear that we're transitioned to vitreous clay. So again, we're just going to continue to push out. And a little bit of gap in that joint there, a little bit of neoprene band exposed right around the 3 o'clock area. Again, we'll just continue to push out. And again, a little more neoprene band exposed in that joint there from about the 11 o'clock area, going all the way up and around to about the 4 o'clock area. So you can see there a little bit of neoprene band exposed. So again, we'll just drop down. We continue to push out, and again, this joint as well, a little bit of neoprene band exposed in this joint here. So again, we're just continue to push out, and coming up on the next joint, and the joint got a little bit of neoprene band exposed as well. Make a little bit of a turn, and again, we'll just continue to push out. Yeah, a little bit of an offset in that joint from about 3 o'clock going all the way up until about the 9 o'clock. And again, a little bit of neoprene band exposed in that joint as well. A little bit of build-up there. It does appear we're holding a little bit of water in this area, so you can see that we do got a little bit of a belly in this area here. So we start to hold a little bit of water right around 38 feet 3 inches, and then as we continue to push out, you can see that we're again holding a little bit of water in this area. So we got a belly, so again holding some water, holding some debris, and again we do have an offset in this area from about the 3 o'clock going all the way up and around to about the 9 o'clock. You can see a little bit of that tissue there just getting held up. So again, we'll just get up and over that area. Again, we'll just continue to push out, and again, a little bit of neoprene band exposed in that joint as well. A little more build-up. What we're going to do is we're going to pause for a moment. We're going to flush a toilet and get some water to run through in one of the units, just so we can get our camera lens nice and clear. So we're going to pause here for a moment. Okay, we went ahead and flushed the toilet, and we're just going to again utilize a little bit of this water to help us push out and possibly keep our camera clear. And what we'll do is when we pull back, we can take a really good look. You can see that we do got more buildup, more debris in this area. So again, we're just going to continue to push out and utilize a little bit of this water to help us possibly get all the way out to our city sewer tie-in. And then from there we can rinse off and pull back, take a good look. So again, we're just going to continue to push out. And if possibly that's our test tee there right at the top. You can see right around the 12 o'clock area. So again, we'll just continue to push out. As you can see, we're completely underwater in this area, completely holding water in this area. So again, we're going to pause for a moment. We're just going to locate this area. So we're going to pause for a moment. What we'll do is we're going to pull back to approximately 100 feet on the camera monitor where the test tee was, and then we're going to locate that area. And then from there, we'll push out and just double check to see where we're going to push out to tie into our city sewer tie-in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause my mic here for a moment. Okay, we went ahead and pulled back just right here. We got possibly our test tee, and then what we'll do is we'll push into this area here and we'll pause for a moment. We're going to locate this area. Okay, we went ahead and located this area, and it is on 5 foot 3 inches deep, just at the front of the property, and we did mark it with an orange flag in the grass. And again, that is our test tee. So again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out, and as you can see, as we push out, we start to hold water in this area. So I'm just going to go push out, and we'll attempt to push all the way out, possibly reach our city sewer tie-in. We're just going to push out slowly. So again, as you can see, we're just completely holding water in this area. And we'll just continue to push out. And we'll just push slowly, just so that we don't possibly get stuck in. So again, we'll just continue to push out. Up here, we're past the joint there. Got some debris in our lens again as well. And again, as you can see, we're just completely underwater here. You can see there's another joint there, and quite a bit of debris and buildup just flowing around. So again, we're just going to push out slowly. And as you can see, we come up and out of our belly, and we're just before the city sewer tie-in. We make a little bit of a turn, and then we drop down into our city sewer tie-in. So you do have approximately a 40-foot, there's approximately a 40-foot belly in there that's holding water, debris, and quite a bit of buildup. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause here for a moment. We're going to locate this area. Okay, we went ahead and located this area. We are in the middle of the street, and we did mark it with the orange dotted paint at 4 foot 3 inches deep. And again, this is our city sewer tie-in here. As you can see, this is our saddle. And again, as we pull back, we continue to pull back, and as we pull back, you can see that we just drop down into a belly in this area here where we're holding water. And you can see that we just go back underwater here. And so we're just completely holding water in this area. So again, what we're going to do is we're just going to continue to pull back. And again, quite a bit of debris and buildup in this area. I can feel a little bit of the tension on the camera cable as I pull back. and that's just due to the buildup and debris that's being held up in that area. So again, we're just going to continue to pull back. Once we pull back to approximately 98 feet, 100 feet on the camera monitor, we'll pull back to our test tee, which is on the property, and we did mark that area as well. So again, we'll just continue to pull back. Again, we continue to pull back, and as we pull back and up and out of our belly area. And as you can see there's our test tee, and that's right at the front of the property in the grass. At 5 foot 3 inches deep. So again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And as we pull back, we do have a fairly large offset in this joint here, as you can see, from about the 9 o'clock going up and around about the 3 o'clock area. But again, as we pull back in our vitreous clay, we do have quite a few joints that have quite a few neoprene bands exposed in the joints. You can see in that joint there, just we do have a little bit of a gap, a little bit of neoprene band exposed in the joint. So again, we just continue to pull back. And again, more neoprene band exposed in that joint there. Again, just some more buildup. You can see in this area here. And again, you can see more buildup on the side of the vitreous clay sewer pipe there. You can see just quite a bit of buildup and stuff. So again, we'll just continue to pull back. And again, that joint there, again, just more buildup, more debris being held up in that area. So again, we pull back. Got a little bit of a belly in this area as well. You can see we're holding water in that area as well. Again, we just continue to pull back. And again, as we pull back slowly, you can see that it's just holding water in this area. Got a little bit of water running. Somebody had flushed a toilet. And again, we're coming up and out of that belly area. Again, we just continue to pull back. And again, more neoprene band exposed in those joints as well. So again, we'll just continue to pull back. Again, you can see in that joint there, we do have an offset in that joint there from about the 3 o'clock going all the way down to about the 6 o'clock. And again, you see a little bit of neoprene band exposed in that joint as well. So again, we coming up. And again, we do got an offset in that joint there from about the 3 o'clock going all the way up until around about the 7, 8 o'clock area. So again, that area there is holding a little bit of water as well. What happens is just due to the length of the run, if somebody flushes from the furthest point in the unit and it comes through and just tends to get held up in these little areas here where the offsets are, you get tissue that gets held up, you'll get debris that gets held behind, and then the line stays, the tissue and the debris will stay behind, and then eventually just kind of creates a lot of sludge and a lot of buildup. And that's what you're seeing as we were pulling back. You see quite a bit of that buildup throughout the vitreous clay. So again, we'll just continue to pull back, and you can see here another offset in that joint there from about the 3 o'clock going all the way up and around to the 9 o'clock. Make a little bit of a turn, and again, you can see there, you can see that gap there, neoprene band exposed in the joint, and in the joint there you can actually see the toilet tissue and the tissue being held up in that gap there. So again, we'll just continue to pull back, and more neoprene band exposed in that joint as well. And again, we do have more neoprene band exposed in that joint as well from about the 3 o'clock going all the way up and around to about the 9 o'clock area. We're going to continue to pull back, and again, more neoprene band exposed in that joint there from about the 9 o'clock going all the way up and around to about the 3 o'clock area. So you do got a gap in that joint as well. So again, we continue to pull back, and again, another offset in that joint there from about the 9 o'clock going all the way around to about the 3 o'clock. And as you can see, we do have a fairly large gap in that joint right there. It does appear possibly a piece of the vitreous clay in that joint is missing. So again, we're just going to continue to pull back. And again, you do have a fairly large offset there in our transition. This is our transition from black ABS sewer pipe to vitreous clay sewer pipe. And again, we do have a fairly large offset from about 3 o'clock to about our 9 o'clock area. And that's right at the bottom of the clean out. What we're going to do is we're going to pause here for a moment. And I'm going to pull back and I'm just going to try to see if I can get my camera to go up the line. They did mention that some of the line was replaced. And it did appear that they did do some saw cutting and pretty much each unit has a big area of saw cut in the concrete floor, and so there is evidence of them doing a replacement. But what I want to do is I just want to run up the line and take a good look as well. So we're going to pause here for a moment. Okay, we went ahead and got our camera to flip around, so we're going up in the waistline now. So what we'll do is we'll just push into our waistline and just take a double check, take a good look. It does appear that it was pipe bursted. As you can see in the joints here, you can see that those are rolled joints there in that joint. You can see that the joints kind of similar to, you can see the kind of rolled there that's been fused together. So again, we're just gonna push up the line a little bit and just take a good look. And that joint there does appear to be a glued joint. You got a little bit of a gap in that joint there. You can see that there's possibly a clean out or a toilet in this area. And you can see in this area here that you're holding water in this area. As you can see, holding water, and you're going to hold debris. You can see that offset's fairly large. I can see the full face of that pipe with my camera as I'm pushing in. So again, we're just going to jump up and over this area. And again, we'll continue to push back towards the rear unit. And again, that's another glued joint there. So again, we'll continue to push out or push back towards the rear units. And you can see as we continue to push in, you can see that we're starting to hold a little bit of water in this area as well. So you can see that we do have a belly. And you come up and out of the belly. A little bit of a short belly. It's approximately a 4-foot belly. So again, we just continue to push out. And again, it does appear to be possibly a fused joint there. But again, as we go up in that area, you can see that you're holding a little bit of water in this area as well. So we do have some flat areas in the black ABS waistline. So again, we'll just continue to push out. Pushing in actually towards the rear of the unit. And again, we'll just continue to push in. And again, another rolled joint in that joint there. So again, you can see that you're just holding a little bit of water here at the bottom. And again, very difficult to try to get grading when you're doing pipe bursting through concrete flooring. So it's basically just going to follow the contour of the line of the waistline. So some of those bellies are kind of inevitable that you're going to hold a little bit of water unless you were trenching out the whole waistline and running everything completely new with the new fall and everything. Again, we're just continuing to push out. And again, it does appear to be a rolled joint in that joint as well, so that joint was fused together. So again, we just continue. We're just pushing towards our rear unit, at the very rear of the property. And here you can see that you do have a fairly large offset in this area. You can see that there's a big shift in the pipe there, right around going all the way from about the 6 o'clock, going all the way up and around to about the 3-4 o'clock area. Again, that's a fairly large shift. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause here for a moment. We're going to locate this area. Okay, we went ahead and located this unit, or this area here, and it is at 2 foot 4 inches deep in the unit, in the carpeting unit, one of the carpet units there. And again, we'll just continue to push out. And again, as we push out, you can see that we just holding debris and build up in this area. So again, we're just going to continue to push out. You can see that it's holding water. Again, we're still in water here, so you're just holding water. Got another nice, fairly large belly in this area as well. So we're going to continue to push out, and we push up and out of that belly, and that's a fairly large belly. So you are going to get some stoppages in that area. And again, another rolled fitting in that joint there. So again, we're just going to try to make it all the way to the rear of the unit. Make a little bit of a turn. That joint there does possibly appear to be a glued joint, possibly a roll joint. Again, a little difficult to tell. Again, we're just continue to push back in towards the rear, trying to make it all the way back to the furthest unit at the rear. And again, this is all the way at the rear here, or at the rear unit. You can see that the tie in there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pause here for a moment. Okay, we're going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And again, we did push all the way to the rear unit. You can see there, that is our rear unit here. We'll go through here with a little bit of cast iron that's left over at the very rear of the unit. And we're not going to get much farther than this. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause here for a moment. Okay, again, we're going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And again, as you can see here, we got a little bit of tissues caught on our camera lens. We're just going to get that off our camera lens. Continue to pull back, and as we pull back into, again, back black ABS waistline. So again, we're heading back out towards our mainline sewer clean out, and what we'll do is we'll just continue to pull back. Again, you can see in this area here, like as I mentioned, you do holding water in this area. So okay, again, we'll just continue to pull back. What we're going to do is we're going to pull back. We're going to pull back to the area where we had the fairly large offset. Again, we'll just continue to pull back. Again, there's a rolled joint there. And again, as we pull back, you can see that we're starting to hold water in this area. So again, we do have another short belly in this area. So again, we'll just continue to pull back. We're still underwater. And as we pull back, we pull back. We're going to try to pull back up and out of our belly there.
John, sort of, what's going on?
So you can see here.
Hey, John, I'm going to have to call you back.
You can see there's a large piece of debris and toilet tissue and stuff that's slowly pushing through. And that area there, that's how you're going to create these soft stoppages. Again, we'll just continue to pull back, and as they pull back, you can see. You see how that debris is sitting way back there.
Yeah.
See how that's where you start creating those soft stoppages. See the water I'm pulling back as we're sitting in water. And I passed that. That's where like all that debris and stuff. That's where basically that shift was sitting. It was at about 100 feet. In there, but you're just holding so much stuff in there that you can't see it. But when you watch the video, when going back, when the line was flushed and clean, and we were flushing through, you can see the offset in it. But right now, with people flushing and all this debris in here, you're not going to see nothing. But see all this stuff, all that just gets hung up in there, and that's what's happening back there. Is it just gets hung up in that area. So again, we'll just continue to pull back. Again, another joint there. Again, we continue to pull back. And again, we did have a fairly large offset at approximately 100 feet on the camera monitor. But unfortunately, they had flushed the toilets a few times, and there was a lot more debris in that area. So it's all getting hung up in that area, so making it a little difficult to see. But if you watch the initial video from the beginning, you could see the large offset. We did mark it with a red crayon. So again, we'll just go ahead and continue to pull back. And again, as I mentioned, you can see that these are rolled joints. So you can see the rolled joints there. Then that's a good indication that the line was pipe bursted. So it was excavated in certain areas and then pipe bursted. And again, more debris, more buildup there. And again, those areas there where they're just settling, that's where you would create these soft stoppages. You get the debris that just settles in there, the water passes through, the debris dries out, and then you just create a soft stoppage. And again, you get just a little more debris, a little more water in this area. So again, we'll just continue to pull back. Getting back towards our clean out, and we're going to come up and out, and that will conclude our video waste and sewer line inspection.